Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fellow history lovers, those folks just interested about what's going on. Welcome to Sunday Night History Chat. My name is Michael C. Hardy. Welcome to my library. I hope everybody is doing well here on May 12th, 2024. I hope things are great on your side of the mountain, wherever it is that you just happen to be at. If you're joining us this evening, drop a note in there. Tell us where you're watching from. I'm always interested to see what kind of reach that we have and what's going on with y'all. Done anything historic lately? Drop me a note. Tell me about it. We would love to see that. I know what's going on out there in the video world. So, gosh, nobody's like popping up and saying anything. Wow, where's everybody at? Is it just as beautiful at your house as it is at my house? It's been a beautiful day here in Western North Carolina, high of about 63 degrees and sunny. Cannot ask for anything better than that out there in video land. So we spent, I was on the road this past week, spoke down at the Confederate Museum in Greenville, South Carolina, and had a great time. They have a wonderful collection of artifacts down there. If you ever get them, they actually have a Third National that they believe is original to the time period. So if you ever get a chance, go down there and check that out. And just really, really cool stuff that they have. This upcoming week, tomorrow night, which will be May 13th, 2024, I will be speaking at the Shenandoah Valley Civil War Museum. If you where am I going? Harrisonburg, Virginia. If you live up in that area, please come on out and check it out. And would love to see you and chat about history. This evening, we're going to be talking for a brief amount of time about something that I recently found. I read some books, not a lot, but I read some books from time to time on. I get books to read for book reviews, and I don't know, probably no more than 5 or 6 a year. But right now I'm reading one called Sketch of the 12th Alabama Infantry by Robert Emery Park. And part of this was published in the Southern Historical Society papers, and part of it was elsewhere. I think this as a collection was published in the early 1900s. I see a publication date out there of like 1908, but it has been reissued by Scuppernong Press just recently. You can check out a copy from them. This says it was published in Richmond in 1906 originally, but Scuppernong Press in 2022 reissued this nice little hardback book version of the 12th Alabama. As far as I could see, and I did a brief search online, this is the only book out there on the 12th Alabama. It's amazing that there's not a newer regimental, because this is a great resource. But Robert Emery Parks actually joined very early in the war. He was from Georgia, but he was going to school at what is now Auburn University, and he heard that the Confederate government was accepting the last company, 12-month company, that it was going to accept, and he joined. And that became a Company F in the 12th Alabama Infantry. They are officially formed in Richmond, Virginia, missed the Battle of First Manassas, but are pretty involved in the rest of the war. They retreat up the peninsula. And in 1862, they're at 7 Days, they're at 7 Pines, and the vast majority of the major campaigns of the Army of Northern Virginia, they're with Early, as Early goes through the valley in 1864, and Park is a part of all of that. He eventually becomes a lieutenant in his company, and for a brief amount of time, about 6 months in 1863, Park is the temporary quartermaster for the 12th Alabama.
I think your chat is disabled.
And
I think that's what's wrong.
And he, hey, y'all, hold on one second. Elizabeth's telling me that my chat is disabled.
I don't know. I can't see any chat at all.
I don't see any chat at all either. Y'all keep talking amongst yourselves. Talking amongst yourselves. And why don't you say something, Elizabeth, and see if we have a chat?
Okay. I can't. Well, David Pope sent me a message just now and said thanks. We couldn't because we can't chat.
Somebody tell me how to turn it off. Send Elizabeth another message.
It's on.
Turn it on. I don't know.
Normally it would just be automatic. I don't have the editing feature on my side. I'm not on your side.
So y'all hang out amongst yourself for just a minute and let me figure out how I have turned off the chat. Chat is disabled for this live stream.
It should not be.
It should not be. Keep talking amongst yourselves. Well, if anybody on YouTube knows how to. Otherwise, if you want to chat, I will pull up right now.
I'm on the YouTube, on the Facebook one too. Chat on there. But nobody's commenting on there.
So y'all can go to Sunday Night History Chat, where this is in the process of being shared. No, maybe not.
It's shared. It's there.
So comment underneath that. I'm watching that on that screen right now. So we will figure out later how we disabled the chat. I don't know. Maybe it's...
You should be able to turn it right back on. Go to the little thing that's the your cog, your gear.
I would love to.
See your gear?
Yep, I do.
Should allow you to turn it back on.
It does not. All right, so we keep going without chat, and we will find that, and we will call you. Bobby says, look and make sure it's not on children's setting.
No.
That's a great suggestion, and I don't know how to do that while I'm live because I don't see those options. But you can send me notes on here, and we'll see what we can do. And then we'll go back and fix it here in a little while. Sorry for the interruption, but you can message me and we will see what we can do. So anyway, Parks is serving in the Army. He's a lieutenant in his company, and he gets promoted, even though he hates the promotion, to quartermaster. According to what Parks writes, the quartermaster for his regiment has gone AWOL, and his officer comes in and asks him, or basically orders him, to take command of being quartermaster for the regiment. And that works out okay for a while, but Parks really hates that job with a passion. And but I mean, he's an effective officer, even though he's like at 23 years old at the time, 22, 23 years old. And he does a really, really good job and does a remarkable thing. So at the Battle of Chancellorsville, he's in charge not only of the regimental wagon train, he is also in charge of he gets right before the battle, gets placed in charge of the wagon train for the division. And this would be Rhodes' division. And Park uh, is there at Hamilton's Crossing. And I don't know if he learned this beforehand. Maybe this is something that they were drilled in back when he was a company grade officer, or if that had to be where it came from. I'll just say that had to be where it came from. But he is told there's a courier from Stuart that either comes by and tells them or is ordered to go tell them that there's a federal cavalry raid going on. And there is a federal cavalry raid going on. And Park takes it upon himself to take these wagons, the division quartermaster wagons, and to place them in a square, basically circling the wagons. And I know that's a term that we use in the Old West. It's highly debatable how many times that actually happened in the Old West, where they circled the wagons. But they circled the wagons, forming a square with the wagons. And then Park also goes on to write that he had about 90 men. And that 90 men were the other quartermasters, the wagon masters, the cooks, and some stragglers. And he took rifles out of the ordnance wagons and ordered them, gave them to the men, and gave them some basic instructions about how to fire and everything. They placed the men inside of the square. They took and placed the horses inside of the square, or mules, whatever it is that they're used to driving the wagons. And there they wait for the federal cavalry to come. And of course, the federal cavalry never comes and attacks the camp. Park is really honest in what he writes about those men. He says, quote, "Fortunately, the cavalry did not attack us, as it was very probable my entire crowd would have fled without delay upon hearing the first gun." So what I would love to know, are there other examples of Confederate cavalry forming a square, a defensive square? Now, we know the infantry formed squares from time to time during the war. There are a couple of examples in Texas, Battle of Rolette Station, and another battle in Texas. We know there was a square formed at Gettysburg on the first day, and a square formed at Chickamauga as well. But are there this infantry squares? And of course, the infantry would form this square to prevent their rear from being attacked. And very outdated mode of fighting. But it did happen in some places during the war. That probably needs more research as well. But this, and all of the stuff that I have read over the years, is probably the first time that I at least cognitively remember a square being formed by quartermaster horses and wagons. I'd really be interested in knowing how that took place in other places during that time period. I would just one of those things that I would love to know more information about. So what are your thoughts about that? And I know that you can't comment, and I'm still over here trying to figure out what I did earlier.
should be in the studio. That's what I'm seeing.
I'm in the studio.
Mhm.
But I still don't see it.
It's there.
So this will probably be really short this evening, since Michael does not know how he messed up his channel, and we can't have any good feedback. And I'm still looking for it, but I don't see it. So David shot me a note and says that Breckenridge formed squares several times at 3rd Winchester. And just once again, I think the whole subject of forming squares, I did find reference to an article that was in North and South magazine back in 2012, and need to try and go through all my old issues and see if I have that article someplace. North and South was a fantastic magazine, and just I don't know if it's still out there or not. I've not subscribed. I think it's entirely digital at this point in time. So that's kind of what's going on with me, and I will fix this snafu, and we will get back to commenting and doing other things here in the near future. Probably next join together on Sunday night history chat. I will have figured it out. I'm still in here looking. I'm not so sure that it's something I can do while I am talking to you, all of y'all great folks out there in YouTube land. Well, I don't see it. All right, folks. Once again, I will be in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And tomorrow night, speaking to the Shenandoah Valley Civil War Roundtable. And if you're out and about, please come join me. There, you can look up online and see where they meet next week. I believe it's next Monday night. A week from tomorrow night, I will be at the Sons of Confederate Veterans Camp in Newport, Tennessee. Or maybe that could be Tuesday night that week. I don't remember. But I look forward to being with those folks and chatting with folks. And if you're out and about, there's some great new things. David Pope's got a new East Tennessee Confederates blog. I encourage you to check that out as well. And anything we can do to get out there and keep sharing history, I encourage you to do, as I always do. So this is going to wrap it up for me this evening. I apologize for not being able to see your comments because I've somehow turned it off. But thanks for showing up and chatting with me this evening. As always, remember to keep going on, digging, researching, sharing that history. And I look forward to being back with you next Sunday night. And maybe we will get this figured out. I can't even find my end string button. But thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to chatting with y'all later. And God bless.